What up, and welcome to the first annual ever quarterback. It's going great. We're off by a hot start. I don't even know what that was. Welcome to the first ever annual, not
Oh
annual,
no.
weekly, I should say. I apologize. Quarterback and team rankings. I think team rankings was going through 10. My quarterback tier list. We're doing our quarterbacks in tiers, by the way. And I agree with Dion. That was his idea. By the way, welcome those to Dion to the show. Smash the like button,
Thank you.
be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. But he had the idea rather than like a straight up list, do tiers. And I agree with that because I feel like lists can come off disrespectful sometimes, Dion. Like just
Mm,
because one guy's not your number one doesn't mean that he's not elite, you know?
right. I like that. That's a good. Yeah, that's
Was that
true.
not your thinking? I mean,
I
that's
don't.
my
It's a good point. It's a good point. Yeah, because people do get fired up. Like who's number one, who's number two. Plus, I think it gets difficult to separate guys when you get to certain little groupings. Like 18, 19. Like what do I do with that? Plus, especially if we're talking quarterbacks, when you get to the bottom, it becomes kind of a real mess because now we're just like, okay, I don't even know. Is this guy even a starter? Like for some of those guys, I wasn't even sure if they were
yeah.
starters. Easy, so I'm with it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. And real quick, actually, we'll get some Lions news out the way real quick too.
Let's do it.
Was Darius
Fire it up.
Smith really spotted Allen Park, or is that Cap? I believe that is Cap. Um,
Oh,
I know
okay.
I personally have abused a meme of a gentleman standing at the terminal, and you throw an athlete's name out there, and you rile
Yep.
up the fan base. I know that's been going on a lot. Uh, as to Dion, though, before we got live, you asked me, is there any updates on the Dan Campbell trade news? And there is. It's not
Okay.
great.
Oh.
Yeah. Uh, Basically, so yesterday he did the jump up and down thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was re-asked that again today on the flagship station, and he basically kind of just he said Dave asked again and a question that he already answered with like we'll see or it could. What was the word he said? Maybe or something like that.
Could be. Could
Yeah,
be.
it could be. That's what it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
just like that. By the way, nice.
Yeah.
Well, he said could be, and then because the first could be wasn't good enough for him, he decided to
Mm-hmm.
jump up and down to emphasize it a little bit. So a little bit of Dan
Mm.
Campbell just trolling the beat
Yeah.
reporters there. Sorry,
I
I'm a
mean,
little
he
sick.
also cut somebody else off asking the question. Like was asking
Yeah,
a different question.
exactly. So it's like that's kind of like what you get for being like I love Dave Burkett, by the way, but bit of a
Shout to
dick
Dave.
bag. You kind of he answered you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's understand. I don't think that means that nothing's on the table. I just think that
No.
him asking 24 hours specifically was like a because I mean the first thing that he said from what I heard, the first thing that he said was like, "Yo, we got a week," and then he was like,
Yeah.
"Well, is something coming in 24 hours?" It could be, what I mean. It's that, but I think the side to that too, real side. This is a two-side kind of type of deal, right? I mean, depending on who we're getting here, there's a real other team aspect to this where I was thinking about this last night. There's a chance that depending on who they're looking at, they have something out there, and it's like, hey, the team has to make that decision if they really want to sell for that. That's kind of how I'm thinking
Yes.
about it.
Correct. I will say this though, he did kind of follow up with like you're wasting your energy. I don't know that necessarily mean that like they're not doing. I know a lot of people are taking that piece of it. Dan Campbell said that following the question today on the radio station. Like I just jumped up and down for emphasis because it wasn't good enough for him. And then the guy on the radio station asked again, and he just said you're wasting your energy. And some people took that as like they're not doing anything. That's like at least what's coming from my network at WSN. That's some of the tweets I'm seeing. That's what people are trying to perceive it as. But to me, I think I perceive it as he's telling the reporters you're wasting your energy. He's not going to tell you the
Right,
trade
right.
they have in the works. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's not how this goes. It's not how that works.
Yeah, I just think so much is probably out of his control with that.
Yeah.
Also, I think there's also, to think about that moment specifically. The next question that was asked was about Muhammad, right? And the
Yeah.
guy cut him off, and it was like, hold up. We should give attention to Muhammad, who had 6 pressures, and he played his butt off, dude.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
guy was legit. I know it was like against a third string right tackle, and it's a rookie left tackle, Latham, who's been pretty good. He played really well. Like we should be able to give those guys attention that are on the team, more, maybe even more so than the guys that aren't here.
No, he definitely surprised me with a few of those. He and I didn't peep that Wingo was playing edge a few of those snaps.
Right?
Bumped him to the
Yeah, they've been
outside,
mixing
which
that in.
I have no issue with. He has that type of burst, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I thought that's what he'd do out at LSU, and then he kind of didn't. So I was like, all right,
Yeah.
this is cool. I'm glad they're giving him some looks there. Really, as soon as the injury happened, I think to Hutchinson that kind of became a thing, and then Davenport, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was taken as a defensive tackle. I wonder if we didn't see it's sooner. I mean, I know it was happening in training camp, but like he's stockier guy. You typically those edge, you want guys with long arms, guys that could
Yeah,
make first point of contact. And I wonder if that's why maybe we didn't
that's
see
not
it
his build.
sooner. Yeah,
Right. And he was so good at DT in college. I think all of it was just projection. Like, oh, this guy's not really built to play defensive tackle. He's too small. But he played so well in college. It's like, I mean, hey, if he can make it work, I mean, that's what people thought about Donald. I'm not saying he's Donald, but hey, if he can make it work and he's smart enough to do it and he plays fast enough, then leave him at DT because that's what he was good at.
yeah. Are you pressed for the Detroit Lions to add anybody this week before this divisional game, especially
No.
with Jordan Love's injury? Does that make it you a little bit more patient?
For me, no. I think I don't even know if the Willis thing was. I mean, I think that I want them to do something. I want them to do something at some point here. But if it doesn't happen before the Green Bay game, I'd be fine with it because we'll see what happens in the game. Yeah, it's a big one, but they've made it work without him to this point. I know the competition has been fantastic, but one of them was Minnesota, and even though it's not always pretty, they're
Mhm.
2-0 without Hutchinson. So like I can't really fault them. Like, oh, you should have did something. If you go 2-1 through that stretch without him, I would have liked to see something done, but I'm not gonna get fired up about it. They did
Oh,
pretty darn well without him.
that's right.
Yeah.
You're a big Josh Uche guy.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Did you send me that? I didn't even look at it. I saw the news already, so I was already a little depressed. So I didn't want
Okay.
to open it. I was like, oh, I know what this is. I already know what this is.
Yeah, I was wondering like where you were at in that one because you were the one who sold me on Josh Uche.
I was a little sad. A little sad, Easy. A little sad. You know what it makes me think? It makes me think for sure that if they make a move, it won't be two. It'll be one. It'll be one guy that they're
Yeah.
going after. Okay, so when we last time were live, Carl Granderson was the name that's brought up. I
Yeah.
think that's on the table. I mean, haven't heard anything up buzz about it for the Lions
Mhm.
connection wise, and maybe you'll have more info on that. But for me personally, I looked into it more last night. I think it makes sense because just a quick note to this: if a guy like Carl Granderson, who signed a 4-year contract, was with the Saints, they have overlap with him. If the Lions made a move like that, they could basically bypass the idea of, oh, it's a prove it deal for Davenport. Because if Davenport would have played well, and I think he was playing well, he just got hurt, and he would have earned an extension after this year. I don't know that it had been 4 years, but price wise per year could have been very similar to what a guy like Carl Granderson is actually making. And if they already like Granderson, then you kind of bypass any of the, well, he had to prove it first. It was like, this is a guy opposite of Hutchinson. And after 2 years, there's really no guarantees, so we can get out of the deal. I think that's
Yeah.
on the table, something like that. And to me, a move like that for the Saints, where the Saints are at now, losing again their financial space. To me, that's where you play the balance game of you're patient because the Saints don't want to move off a guy that just extended, but at the same time, they know they need to make cap space, and that's where the ownership could be like, "Dog, we're trash. We're moving off y'all anyways. Make the trade, all right? Dennis Allen, you're not going to be here next year, my guy. We're making the trade, okay? We need capital because we need to restart."
Yeah, the only thing with that one, and I had to find it to even see what it was. I remember Justin Rodgers said something specifically as to why he wouldn't be a piece. I think it was something to do with the contract. I'm trying to find it right
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
Chase Grandison is a fresh deal. Okay, Chase Granson's the first name, Carl or
Carl,
Chase?
Carl, Carl, Carl.
Carl. Okay.
Sorry,
Oh,
it's two guys.
no, you're fine.
Chase and
I read this wrong. It's okay. So Granson has a fresh deal, and Saints
Mhm.
won't want to take / can't afford cap acceleration hit. Is that because I know they got a really funky salary cap situation over there because they're kind of like always towards the negative. By the way, I read it says that's Chase. That's why I said Chase Granderson because Chase and Granderson's like right there. I'm
Yeah,
not an
yeah.
idiot. I mean, I
That's
am an
Chase
idiot, but
Granderson.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a comma. I missed the comma. The comma's just snuck
You
in
know,
there.
they're
Yeah.
important. They're important sometimes.
Here's the
Um,
only thing I went on based on this was looking at
yeah,
it as they weren't going to really make money this year. And I think this is one of those things where the Lions could balance it out and say, yo, we're going to take some of that money because before the season, Carl Granderson was restructured. So they just basically put more money into the back end of his deal to open up more money for this season. So I think the only way something like that goes down is the Lions have to say, we'll take some of those guarantees. We'll help you out a little bit because this doesn't help. From my understanding, it doesn't help the Saints at all this year. That's not really the value. It's going forward. We'll take
yeah,
them off your hands. We're going to take some of that money because that's what we have. And the flip side is we're going to give you a lot less in return. So that's where the balance to me comes in. But I don't know. Maybe it's not possible. I don't understand the trades incredibly well because I think
yeah,
there's so much that goes into it that happens after the deal.
exactly.
That's hard to project.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say it to Justin's, not to Justin's point, but to your point. Like, oftentimes you see these deals, the money's exchanged differently on depending on what the teams agree on. It's like, okay, well, if you give us a higher pick, then we'll pay more of the salary cap. It could be that situation. Detroit Lions land them. Either way, I
Right.
do suspect or expect them to make a move. Just Dan Campbell's not going to be transparent about it, at least not immediately. So
Yeah, and our boy Za'Darius is still out there. So, I mean,
he
if
is.
that's a real possibility. What is
Yeah.
there to say? We've heard all the buzz to this point. If it's going to go down, there's no reason for it to be like, well, maybe something's going to go down. Like, bro, we know that Za'Darius is sitting right there, right? And now the Browns just won. So now, again, it's that thing where it's like, yo, do the Browns still believe in themselves? I don't know. But if they do,
Yeah.
maybe they don't want to move off him.
Yeah. We'll see. They're going to make a move. They're going to trade somebody. I don't think they're not going to.
I agree.
I don't think they're sit pat. It just doesn't make sense.
Hey, easy. Real quick, Arden Key, he did a little work against us.
I'm down. I am so
Yeah,
down.
after that, yeah.
I'm so down. Look, and that's a guy. I mean, I don't know him personally, obviously, but the fact that they've already had a visit with him previously, I think he may fit the mold, or at least they expect him to fit the mold at some point for them. Your boy Za'Darius Smith, by the way, I do want to give some credit to. Looked really good in the Ravens game, by the way. I peeped that. I peeped that this morning.
Hey, and I just brought up Key because we had talked about him. Like, that was the one guy that's like, I got clips for Key, so I'm just going to throw him with that. But that was last time we talked about it. So if something like that goes down, we were a little bit ahead of it, I think. That's just, yeah.
All right, man. How do you want to start this? You want to do quarterback rankings first or the power rankings first?
Well, the quarterback ones are longer, so I feel like we should do the teams maybe first.
To get them out the way.
Yeah.
All right. Also, Ryan T. Jameis quoting Eminem and potentially making dumbass Haslam think they don't have to sell. Yeah, that hurts. That hurt.
Shout out to Jameis.
If it's white boy in Detroit, Jameis wins.
Jameis is goofy, bro. I love that dude. I
saw a meme that it said it sounds like he's constantly rehearsing lines for a movie that doesn't exist. You ever notice that too? Like, he'll be doing the interviews when he makes these one-liners, like he'll look into the camera and say this.
He is the one guy that would be prepared for, like, if this is how the game goes down, I got you covered.
And I don't know if this sounds like disrespectful, and I know we're on a former NFL player's YouTube channel right now, but like, does he have like early onset CTE? Like is he trolling all of us, or is he like this all the time? Because if he's like this all the time, that's not normal, bro.
Maybe he's just he's unique. He's just a unique guy. He's different. That's all right.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. Lions won't have to face Diggs. His season is over. Diggs. Oh, Stephon.
Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate. They're going
that is unfortunate. I did not know that. But, I mean, Tank Dell, I think, has been more than serviceable for those guys. But let's get to these rankings.
Let's do it.
Dion?
Do you want me to, share my screen, or did you save them from my thing?
I saved them from your thing.
Perfect. Okay, makes it easy for me. I can go first, or you can go first. I'm going first. Right. I'm ready for this. I'm fired up.
I think this is they're saved as 17 and 18, so we'll see.
Yeah. 17 and 18.
Whatever I pop up is what we're doing first.
There you go. Yes, good look.
Top 10 teams. Dion, you got the Detroit Lions, number one. We going it.
That's easy money. That was the easiest decision on the entire thing, easy, if I'm being honest here. Lions number one was a no-brainer. I can just roll through them. So we got Chiefs 2. They're 7-0. I think these records are right. Could be wrong. I don't know about the Eagles one. I thought they were 5-2, but I'm not sure if that's correct. But yeah, Chiefs 2, Ravens 3, Bills 4, Commanders above the Eagles. That was the tough one. I put the Commanders above the Eagles. I feel like if they played right now, I think the Eagles are a really good team, but I just love the way that the Commanders played. I mean, they had 480 yards against the Bears, and they won on a Hail Mary. So even though it feels like it was lucky, they had 4 field goals. That game didn't have to be close, and that's an elite defense. And were you going to say, do you need me to stop? Are we trying to do something?
No. I'm pressing buttons. I'm trying to figure out how to get it to where it's like just a graphic. Do I do overlay for that or what?
Oh, so it still shows us?
Yeah.
You'd have to present it, and then you'd have to present the image.
Got you. All right, cool.
I think you can do that. Or maybe you'll have to open it up on a different tab. That might, yeah.
I'll figure it out.
Okay, yeah, so I have Commanders above the Eagles. Commanders getting my top 5. Eagles 6. I'm going to put the Packers at 7. I don't know how serious this thing is with Jordan Love. That obviously plays a little bit into it. I'm not all the way there with the Packers right now, but they've been playing really well, so I got them in here. Rams, look here, I look at it like this, easy. Teams that would scare me the most to play going forward. Obviously, the Rams are getting healthy. The Rams are absolutely in the top 10. I think there's a case they could be higher. We just need to see more. But that's not a team you want to play. That team could score a ton of points. We saw week 1 how competitive they were when they're kind of healthy. Now they're getting back to that. I understand where it is right now, but the thing is for the Rams is that division's right there. They're a half game back, and they've already beat the Niners. They're right there with everybody, so they're not in a spot where it's like we're selling right now, we're concerned, we're down 3 games. They're right there with everyone. I got the Texans at 9. The injury was brought up. That's a huge part of that. And then the 49ers, I was between them and the Vikings. I'm going to go Niners. Again, CMC's kind of on the horizon coming back. If I had to play one of the two teams, I'd rather play the Vikings right now than I would the San Francisco 49ers. That's just where I'm at with it. I think the Niners are just still a very tough team. So, Easy, what do you think about this, man? What do you agree, disagree with?
I don't hate the way I don't hate the thought process in this one. The one I don't have in there for damn sure is the Rams and mine personally. Mine's a little
Okay,
funky here. I kind of just made shift it to fit the screen before we
that
went
looks
live
good.
here. Um, but I had the Steelers in my
Same
top
here.
10. I just think ever since Russ has come back, you've seen that offense kind of come alive. A lot of those deep shots are there. Maybe I'm just like hopeless romantic when it comes to Russell Wilson. I never
Yeah,
really
he's
thought
played
that he was
well.
dead. I was kind of more disappointed in Sean Payton and the way he treated Russell Wilson last year than I was in Russell Wilson's actual play. If you look at the numbers, he was pretty close, like some elite guys in the league. They are in my top 10. The Rams, for me, though, I don't hate you have them in there because I do think Stafford can carry them to that point at some point. I'm waiting for that part. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting to see that first before I throw them in my top 10. I think they'd be dangerous, like Puka and cut back, but let's see him
Let
get
me
to that.
ask you this. Let me ask you this. Put you on the spot for between
I like
those
the
two.
defensive line a lot, though. By the way, Jared Verse, that kid is a
Uh
dog,
huh. He did
and we
work
wanted
yesterday.
him. Remember, I want to trade up for him actually.
Hey, he did work, man. He's coming on. He's got a lot of pressures this year. Between those two teams, right? Because the Rams are coming off of have they won two in a row or is it just one? I think maybe it's just one.
I think Rams might be coming off 2 in a
I think
row.
it might be two. All right, so let me from what I'm remembering here, who has the more impressive wins? Russell Wilson with their last two and who they've beat, right? The Jets, and then
Mhm.
they beat the Giants, who, that was kind of competitive. It was tied at halftime. Or
Yeah.
the Rams and what they've done over the last few weeks. Who's been more impressive?
So the Rams 3 wins. I'm looking at right now. The
Yeah.
most impressive one on the schedule, despite the records, in my opinion, is still the 49ers. I
Mm-hmm.
know they beat the Vikings, but you and I talked about that off air actually. That game was a kind of a setup game for them to lose. You're traveling across the country. You have the Honolulu Blue Flues. You just face a physical Detroit Lions team. Not only that, the game plan that goes into that. I can't imagine the anxiety as a defensive coordinator preparing to face all the weapons that the Detroit Lions have on top of Ben Johnson's, like the way he deploys them in multiple different ways. It's time consuming. So the Honolulu Blue Flu, yes, they beat the Vikings. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the Vikings quite yet. So Steelers, let me see who they beat. I know they just beat who last night? The Giants.
Yeah, they beat the Giants and the Jets, right? I mean, with Russell Wilson,
Giants,
he's looked
Jets.
good, but they're not
Yes.
impressive wins.
Giants, Jets. I think they beat the Falcons to begin the year. But that's just that's an early W. Broncos have been impressive. They beat the
Yeah,
Chargers, who have also been impressive. I'm more impressed with the Steelers' resume right now than the
as
three
a
wins.
whole,
Yes.
but recently though, because my thing is the Rams aren't the same
Mhm.
team at all that they were 3 weeks ago. This is a
This
whole new team now, and then the Steelers are changing their quarterback. So even though they're winning, I would take the Rams wins over what they got last
yeah.
2 weeks.
I think I mean here's this. I like the wins better. And I think Russ makes that the offense better. I think you've seen it just point
Yeah,
forward. Like he's able to get the ball down the field. No disrespect to Justin Fields. He got down the field and he scored points. And it was really on the defense to kind of like bend, don't break. But that defense is still just as good as it's been. And I think your offense has gotten better with with Russell Wilson. George Pickens, he may enter a top 10 conversation at the wide receiver position by the
man, he
time that
looked like a
Larry
dog.
ends. He is a dog. He disrespected
Yeah.
Amon St. Brown, but he's been playing like a dog. I really want him to just be bad, but I can't. I'm gonna call it like it is. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he looked like a dog. Hey, by the way, this just came out. Phones. Anthony Richardson's been benched, which
About time,
so.
honestly, about time. Which kind of leads into our other thing we're getting here to our quarterback tiers. Real quick, the
Yeah,
rest of my list though. Okay, I think Eagles. Eagles we kind of disagree on too.
yeah, I got the Eagles higher. Right, that's
I see they're
I got them
coming
at
on,
6. You got them at
but
9.
similar to like what you said too. What win has impressed you to get them that high?
Yeah, no, it's a fair point. I look last week they beat the Bengals. My thing is with the Eagles is I think I came into the year believing they were a really good team, and I don't think that they've to this point showed me that they're not a really good team. I don't know that they've been overly impressive, but I don't think they don't. They still look. I think they're just well on in every aspect. Like the secondary was a concern coming into the year. I say the biggest concern with them is they're not creating a ton of pressure either so far this season, but their all line still looks like one of the best in football. Last week they just looked incredible. It was a Cincinnati, but they look great. And right now, to me, they're just one of the more well-rounded teams. You know what I mean? Like I feel like against most
Mhm.
teams, they're going to give teams problems because they're just so well-rounded as a unit. So that's where I'm at. I think I came into the year high on the Eagles, and I don't think they've let me down to this point. So I got them a little bit higher.
And we kind of swapped the Eagles and Texans there. You're low on the Texans.
Yeah. I mean, it's the injury. And plus, on top of that, like, even their win, the loss to the Packers was a disaster. They haven't looked right on offense, I feel like, all season. Joe Mixon has kind of just, like, led the way, which is my concern now, losing another weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that's going to look like, man. That seems to be their entire offense. I mean, they have a good defense. It's a good defense. But, then they just go out there and beat the Colts, and it wasn't, like, super impressive. So, to me, I'm just concerned with what the ceiling is for this team, especially right now where they're at health-wise.
Yeah. Ryan T, the Wilbur Sports Chat. Not the Wilbur Sports Chat. Apologize. Lions Nation, Unite Chat. Nah, all disrespect to Fields. He called Anzo dirty. That's fair. That's fair. Ryan T also asked, when is Nico Collins coming back? I suspect he comes back this week. Usually those hamstring injuries, it's like 2 to 3 weeks. It's been that, right? It's been like 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
If he didn't fully tear it, I think probably this week would make sense for him to come back. But shout out to Kenneth Peller in the Wilbur Sports Chat. Oh, I got to stop saying that. They conditioned me to say that. Damn it. Damn it. Anyway, he asked about Joe Flacco. And yes, Joe Flacco is the new starting quarterback for your Indianapolis Colts. Dion, would you like to go first for the quarterback tier list, or should I go?
You go. I went first on that one, so you can go first. I mean, ours is completely different, to make that fair. Like, you got less tiers. Yours is much better. It's much better though to look at than what mine is. Mine's pretty boring to look at, but it has like 8 tiers. I just put 4, 4, 4, 4, 4 throughout the thing to equal 32.
All right, I'll get up here on the screen.
Boom.
Is beautiful. This is my first ever tier list, by the way, and yes, I have to agree, Dion. It is beautiful.
Oh, man.
Where I start, from the top or the bottom?
Easy. What are we doing? First off, you got the Patriots logo. That is disrespectful. You got my man Anthony Richardson. Nice pull Sunday, who just got benched. That's not your fault.
Okay. Here's the tiers. Let's start here. All right, top tier, elite quarterback play, real N-word. I'm kidding. Right now, elite quarterback play right now. All right, that's your top guys in the game. Well, and yes, Dave Montgomery is in there. All right, You saw that spiral touchdown. He's 1 for 1.
Of course. Perfect
game. You hang up his jersey next to Goff's. All right. Yeah. Second tier below that is still really good. Like, they're still very good. They're just not, they're not turning a leaf into elite yet. They're still doing their thing. I'm not mad at what they're doing. The tier below that is just you could be better. Like, there's so much. I believe there's something more in you. And you let me down right now so far this season. So that's that tier. And then my favorite tier, my personal favorite tier, is nice poll someday. And yes, that's where you can find Anthony Richardson, because at this point, to me, it's just going to be one of those guys that you forget about, but you'll be talking sports with your boys one day. Like, oh, remember Anthony Richardson? Like, yeah, man, he's supposed to be. Yeah, nice poll, like nice name grab there. Bo Nix is in there too, although he might. We'll see. And then the bottom tier is just, man, like, damn.
Wait, why is Carr in there? This isn't fair to Derek Carr, Easy. Why is Derek Carr at man?
I like Derek Carr. I really do, but like,
he was playing fine. He's hurt.
I just feel, for Derek Carr and my man, for me, is like I'm more sad, because like I thought he had moments there in Vegas. He had the one where he carried him to the playoffs with who was their coach at the time? Del Rio. Yeah. And then he got hurt, and then Connor Cook ended up starting, and then like after that he just disrespected. They fired Del Rio for John Gruden for whatever reason. Right after he made the playoffs, made 0 sense. And then they traded for Derek Carr's like best bud and Devontae Adams, and then they got rid of Derek Carr. I just feel bad for him at this point. Just, man, like,
that's fair. No, I feel bad too. I just don't feel like he should be next to Daniel Jones in a Patriots logo.
Hey, this is my list. All right.
But if he wasn't hurt, though, he wouldn't be down there, right?
He would be. He should be. To be honest with you, could be doing better, because he's got weapons.
Yeah, I mean, he was playing well when he was healthy.
Yeah, could be doing better. That's where he would be.
Look, he lost to the Chiefs, but he wasn't awful in that. I mean, it wasn't great, right? And then before that, it was, hey, he had him rolling, for a second. And
Yeah, offense is looking straight. Raiders stink. I don't blame Minshew. Listen, for the Minshew simps out there.
Hey,
let it go.
Put Aiden O'Connell on there instead.
All right, fetch is never happening. I could have put. Yeah, I should have put Aiden O'Connell on there. All right,
that is a disaster, though.
QB tier. For some reason, people on Twitter are surprised to see this, but I wouldn't. I should be able to talk football if he wasn't in there. Jared Goff. Yes, is an elite quarterback play right now. He is balling out of his mind. I attribute it to him being in his third. I mean, he's already obviously a pretty good quarterback, but he's also in his third year of this elite system, elite offensive line, elite weapons, and he's just reading the field, knowing exactly where everyone's at. He knows where the landmarks are. He knows their hot routes. Like anything, he said, whatever type of pressure you need, unless you're actually getting to him,
Yeah.
like Arden Key, then you're not going to fluster him. He knows where everybody's at. He's going to get that ball off. If whatever's down the field not open, he's going to get right to his check down because he knows where everybody's at in that field. Jared Goff is operating at a fucking prime. I love it right now. God bless you, Jared Goff. By the way, all the guys in the elite tier, they got their Halloween costumes on because they deserve that. They're elite guys, all right?
Oh, okay.
See that?
Okay.
Lamar
What's
Jackson's
Mossie's costume? What is that? What is?
whose costume?
What's Montgomery's costume? What is this?
Oh, he's dressed up as a dog. I got Baker Mayfield in my elite quarterback tier. Is that
Yeah, that's too high. I mean, it's too high. Yeah, I wouldn't have put it in there. I put him in still really good, by your list. I feel like it's just a little bit too high. I don't dislike, I like Baker a lot.
this year?
So I'm not. I love that you gave him some love here. I love that you do. I just feel like Baker Mayfield's still kind of that guy where it's like I'm gonna get some amazing. He feels a little bit like Jordan Love to me, a little bit like Jordan Love. The flip side would be I think Jordan Love has a much better supporting cast. You could argue better offensive play caller now that that's changed for Tampa Bay. So he's got a little bit more adversity. He's got to put up a ton of points. He's got to do a lot in fairness. But I'm also going to get some of those where I'm like, Baker, what the heck was that, dude? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I feel like maybe there's a little bit of bias there you got with Baker because they beat us. I like him. I like him. It's still really good.
No.
Not in elite right now.
He is balling out of his mind. He leads the NFL in touchdowns right now. He's throwing 71%, Dion. 71% completion percentage and 21 touchdowns on the year. And he lost both the starters last week.
Yeah.
I gotta see what he did last week though. I think he put up like 3 or 4.
Competitive for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And like the thing about quarterback play is like running at the right time is that's a plus for me. And he does that as well. I think Baker Mayfield's he's getting disrespected. He is in my elite quarterback play right now.
I'm not going to hate on that one. I'm not going to hate on that. I have more of an issue. I think Kyler Murray's too high, but I don't have an issue with Baker. I think Kyler Murray should go down 1 based on who you got in there. I would not have Kyler above. Confidently, I would not be able to put Kyler above Jalen Hurts, Stafford, Tua when healthy, or even Mahomes, to be honest with you. I know Mahomes doesn't look great, but if you put Mahomes where Kyler is, I think they'd be a much better team. Kyler, hey, I like Kyler too. I think Kyler's a plus, but I don't think he's still really good right now. And according to this list, I'd drop him 1.
All right, you hate Kyler Murray, whatever.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, there's a couple things I changed. I don't want to give away my list, but that's one of those. That's one of those. I think Kyler's a little bit too high.
I think Kyler's doing I mean, I don't hate that honestly. I want to argue it, but I don't hate that. We're gonna say something.
He just feels like he doesn't fit. I mean, the only one in there that doesn't feel like they fit as well. Maybe Kirk, because some games it's great, some games it's like, what is that? But it's more so Russell Wilson just because of sample size. But based on how Russ is playing, I'm not mad at that, to be honest. It's been bad teams, but I'm not mad at it. Kyler Murray, though, we've had an 8-game sample size. He just misses too many passes for me, Easy. He has some amazing runs, but he misses way too many throws. I guess that's the trade-off.
Yeah, that's fair. His completion percentage is 67%, 11 touchdowns in the year throwing, and only 3 interceptions. And by the way, because you had your little Rams in there, he is leading the NFC West right now. They're the number 1 seed in the NFC West. He may, be hosting a playoff.
In fairness, I got them as a playoff team this year. I had them as my 7th seed in the NFC.
I remember we talked about that early on before even the season started. We're like, they're going to be scrappy.
Yeah, but Easy, come on now. You know what I mean? You think they have a better chance to win the
3 interceptions? He's doing well.
They got a better chance to win the division than the Rams. What are we talking about? You know what I mean?
Oh,
no.
It's all right. We'll see. I think it'll be.
I'm asking you. Yeah. Wait, go back to that third tier. Let me see that third tier again, Easy. Okay.
Could be better.
I mean, I'm not mad at that. I feel like, if anything, to be honest, Caleb should probably drop 1. But he has been on a little bit of a heater. So I'm not mad at it. He feels, again, like he – but honestly, no, you know what? I don't hate this because Zach is kind of in a similar tier. I think Stafford's just too low, to be honest. I'd move Stafford up 1. I think he stands out in this group. He doesn't fit. Maybe even Hurts, too. Those are the two. They're tough. Is this left to right, or is this just everybody in a group, right? This is just everybody in a group?
Yeah, just everybody in a group. Yeah, because I don't want to, that's what I didn't want to do. I don't want to
that's the point.
have Lamar over Josh Allen over Jared Goff, and I got to listen for the comment section from it. I didn't want to do that. They're on the same tier right now. All right.
But easy that bottom though. Geno Smith, I think there's a case to push him up one. I don't think he fits with that group. I think Geno's better than those guys. He's got an awful offensive line. I put Geno up one.
At the end of the day, he's gonna be that nice pull someday. He's just gonna be there. All right,
it's a good category. It's a good title for him. Wait. Nice pull someday. When is Gardner Minshew been a nice pull someday this year?
It's just a nice pull is like when you're just talking like, hey, remember this guy? You just bring up random.
Yeah, last year.
Remember, this is way before your time, I guess. Remember Kerry Collins? Or remember Christian Ponder? We started for the Vikings.
Yeah,
just that. Oh, perfect one. Used to play for the Vikings. They went to the playoffs. Case Keenum. Remember Case Keenum?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he was all right. Yeah, they went to the playoffs. I think they won a playoff game.
Yeah, but I thought this was this year. Easy. Okay, show me the nice game where he was pretty good this year. Where's it? Where's the nice pull? Is it the Baltimore game maybe?
For who?
For Gardner. I just don't know where we're going here with Gardner Minshew. I don't even.
He's just that's where he's at, man. He's a nice pull. He's not good. He's not bad. He's just, hey, he's a guy that did something one day, one year. Nice.
Yeah, I don't hate that category. I don't hate that. I just feel like the Derek Carr one's weird. Yo, if healthy, there's no way Derek Carr's below Gardner.
The real conversation I want to have with you.
Okay.
And I know I've disagreed. People have disagreed with me this, at least in the Detroit Lions fan base, for goddamn sure.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Love.
Mm-hmm.
My still really good. Yeah. I think he's battling through the MCL stuff. Obviously, he got hurt in the first series. Not obviously, but if you guys watch the Jaguars game, Jags, he got hurt in that first series, pulled his groin. That's why he's questionable to play this Sunday. But I think he's still having a really good year. It's just he's a cowboy. He's a gunslinger. He is Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers' love child. But some of the throws that he's completing and making is like, whoa.
He throws some of the best passes you'll see. Yeah, he's got some of the best throws of the year.
I'm glad you said it, because if I said it, it's just okay. All right.
No, he definitely does. I mean, look, you were too high on him coming into the year saying that he was better than Goff, so that was the problem. You set yourself up for failure, if we're being honest. But okay, all right, go to my list, easy. This is no, because look, here's the thing. I'm not mad at where he's at. I think it's a fine list, but then you're gonna slip that in there. I just don't know what we're talking about. You know
I think given the same circumstances, Jordan Love would be doing similar things. If not, he's kind of already doing them now. Just his interceptions on top of it.
So he just plays
So okay. LaFleur's a very good play caller, so I don't want to discredit him at all. But I'll go out there and say that we have the better offensive line, and I just think we have a more creative play caller.
They got a pretty darn good offensive line though.
With that too, and I know he's been in Green Bay with LaFleur since he's been drafted. But also that offense changed once Aaron left, because you know how Aaron's a little bit of a diva. By the way, could be doing better. He's in there. So I think if he gets a year 3 of that offense, you could see him not 18 for 18, because that's just not how he operates. He's looking for the home run more times than not. But he would be in the elite tier. He would be in the top tier by next year. If he stays healthy. He's a couple of injuries now. And we're not even halfway through the season. We're just barely halfway.
Why is he not there now? Why is he not there now then?
Jordan Love right now? Injuries, and so that's another part for me too.
Injuries outside of it.
Take the injuries outside of it.
What he's done this year, why is he not an elite then?
He threw that interception before he left the game. Honestly, otherwise I would have him in that tier.
Wait, so dang.
Okay. Before he left last week, he threw that pick. Then obviously he's playing injured as well. For the first couple games, he come back, you see him limping. Then last week he was limping before he finally left the game.
Yeah, he looked shaky the first couple games.
Yeah, I would put him in that. I would have no issue putting him in that tier. And I know everyone, because we are Detroit Lions fans, would have something to say against it, but it's my list.
Isn't that the balance, right? Him throwing the pick, that's what he does. He's gonna throw picks. So
that's why he's still really good.
So he's not elite.
No, I put him there. Just if he cleans up the picks a little bit. Because and I don't know if it's because his first game back, rusty, knee, a tough defense as well. But that first game back against the Vikings absolutely killed him. If that game didn't happen, at least like half those interceptions didn't happen, he would be in that list. He wouldn't be in there for you? Oh, we'll see. Let's look at your list.
No, he wouldn't.
Yeah,
he's not in there for you either, so it's okay.
Yeah, it's cool. Kirk Cousins. All right, any other guys you want to discuss that you have a problem with, or we want to do your
brought
list?
up Kirk. I think Kirk's okay. I think Kirk's fine. I think Kirk's fine. He's probably lower in that list. I'll the other one. I don't want to say it because I will go to my list and I'll show it.
Okay.
But there's another one that stands out. So as soon as we show mine, I'll point it out.
All right. Should I put yours up right now?
Go for it.
All right. Here is the second best list on today's show.
Okay. Yeah. My top 10 was pretty fire. Right. Yeah, that's the first one. Man, I would like to have pictures now. That mine looks crazy. So I did it 4x4. Each one has
You
four
got rainbows
quarterbacks,
back there too, huh? That's cute.
Yeah, I try to get a little background. That's supposed to be a tier list, but there's not actual tiers, so it's like you kind of think it's a tier list.
I'm gonna send you a link that I use. It was actually pretty easy.
Okay.
You have to save a shit ton of pictures. All right, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I should do that going forward. That we were the same playing field. For me, Burrow should have been at the top of yours. So for me, he's at the top of mine. He'd be in that elite category you had. I think Burrow should be there. I think that's one thing that's like very wrong with your list. Go back to yours real quick. Do you have can you throw yours real quick? Yeah. So to me, I'd have Burrow absolutely above Baker. Absolutely above Baker. The other ones are fine. I'd have him above Baker. For sure.
Yeah, I mean he's playing really, really good. Just the record kind of.
Yeah, the record hurts. But
it's okay. Tiered below.
There was a point in that they just don't run the football. There was a point in that game in the first half where he had 24 passes to 8 runs. I just don't think that happens with many other quarterbacks where that's the situation. You know what I mean? Like he's in that boat where he's doing everything. I don't think the Bengals are a good team, but I think Burrow's elite. That's where I'm at with that.
Yeah. I don't hate it. He's playing like those losses are not on him. He's playing extremely efficient. I've always said I feel like he was like I don't want to sound disrespectful here because again I know what we're dealing with. But no, I think actually that's not bad. I think he's a little bit better version of Jared Goff though, is what I was gonna say. I just think he's like a efficient with a little bit more talent than JG.
Yeah, I mean, he throws a beautiful football, dude. He's so accurate.
Yeah, he does.
He is so it looks so easy for him too. Yeah, Burrow's so fun to watch, man. He's just
another guy. He knows when to tuck it and just go. You know, he can be efficient as well.
He's in that situation which we've seen happen. We know it up close and personal. He's got a bad team. He's got a terrible defensive line. They don't stop anybody seemingly ever. Their offensive line's not great. If you watch him, he throws so many of his passes to running backs. Last week, if he has T. Higgins, maybe it's a different outcome. But it's just like eventually they can't hang with teams. But I don't think the reason that's the case.
Yeah. Did I forget Justin Herbert?
Nope, you got him. It's still really good.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I got some different guys listed. I mean, you can pick out what stands out for here that you would disagree with, and that's fine. We can.
Well, I think we have Herbert in the same category. If you were doing just based on my names, the names of mine,
yeah,
would he? So Herbert would still he be in yours still really good?
Yeah, that's where he's at in yours, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be in there.
All right. So let's have the conversation.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes. 3-time Super Bowl champion, 3-time Super Bowl MVP. Not looking himself. And I know last week's interception wasn't necessarily like on him, but like, what's going on right now, man? Like that's not. This isn't the guy that This is the guy that's signing all these endorsement deals. That's for damn sure.
But if we throw that list up, look at the next tier. I don't know who I could put above him. When you look at that list that we have, there's no. Obviously, if we were doing a draft, you would probably put him you'd easily put him in the top 4. Most people would still take him number 1. Forget what he's did this season. But if you look at that third category, Cousins, Hurts, Love, Stroud, Murray, Mayfield, Wilson, Tua, like there's nobody I think that even can. Even this year, I wouldn't make the case for any of those guys. I flipped a position with Mahomes for any of those guys, and I think Mahomes would do better. I'm with you. Like the fact that Mahomes isn't in the 1 category, I think is
weird.
Me agreeing with you.
Territory.
But he's like his weapons are a disaster. That being said, he hasn't looked like him, but still, like when you just need it, he's the best quarterback in the 4th quarter, maybe this season. Still, you know what I mean. Every time they're one of the best teams on 3rd down, so he's just clutch, comes through in the biggest moments for his team. That's what he's been all years this season. And like I said, I don't think there's anybody. Is there someone behind him, below him that you say that could take that spot right now? I don't see one.
From Mahomes, it's
anybody listed 3 or above.
I gave my tiers like kind of they're kind of like defined. So, but right now I would say, believe it or not,
the top 8 basically is what this is.
It's tough too because he does that same thing. He just knows when to run. He's like an ultimate game manager that could just do amazing shit too.
Well, you'd say Baker. Yeah, you could.
Baker's playing better than him right now. I think Baker's playing better than him right now. I think Love is playing better than him right now. Stroud, I admittedly would have to do more homework before I felt comfortable saying that. But like, I mean, I do
Yeah,
like CJ Stroud a lot. That's
same.
probably it. Other than the guys you already
Baker's
have
fine.
around him and above him.
Yeah, Baker's I think a fair one. I want to go CJ just because the season hasn't looked right. But yeah, Jordan Love is a tough. I obviously the two were next to each other. There's no way I'm taking Love or Mahomes in any situation. Rest of the season,
Mhm.
one game going forward, I wouldn't do in any situation. I think that one's interesting though because they're 6-2, so they're really good as well.
Yeah,
That's a tough one, man. Because like it's kind of the you brought up to me. Like if I put Mahomes on Green Bay right now, would they be better than 6-2? I think probably. I think the situation that he would be in there. I'm not mad at that one. I think that's a fair argument. I think Baker's
I
not a
would
bad
put
one either.
Mahomes on Green Bay. You're
On
saying?
the Green Bay, yeah,
Yeah,
they'd be a problem. They'd be a problem. But in fairness, he has the best defense. No, not the best. He's got one of the better defenses in football. So
this guy
I
gets it.
just it's just crucial moments for me. That's why Minshew all time.
Ryan T gets it. Just naming dudes. That's a pull. Just naming guys. Look at a tour. Brian Hoyer.
Brian,
Pull.
Brian Hoyer
Pull.
was a dog for a minute with
Hey,
the Browns.
ready?
He was a
Matt
problem with the
Castle.
Browns.
Boom. I just did it. Just memory lane guys that had a little
Matt
bit of something.
Matt Hasselback.
See, Dion,
That's a
you're
winner.
catching on.
Uh-huh.
Catching
That's a
on.
winner. Okay, but I don't think Brian Hoyer fits in that category. Wait, I mean, he did go. Did he go to the
Yeah.
playoffs once with the
Well,
Browns though?
I think he,
Yeah,
I don't know if they
if you
went
do
to the
that.
playoffs. They won some games.
Brandon Whedon. I mean, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
We'll go back to your list. I'm sorry. We have a ton of comments I want to get to. I'm worried that Packers play more diverse on offense with Malik. They commit to the run more. I agree. I'd rather see a banged up Love in this game for damn sure. Because I know
I think
Melissa's going
that's
to be
crazy
given a game
too.
plan, and he's going to be told, don't you even think about doing certain things that Jordan Love does, you know? And they have a lot of weapons where if he follows it to a T, kind of like JG. JG's like, just get your guys, get your guy, get your guy. And Tom Brady played that way. I think as we're seeing in Malik Willis, when he gets in these games, it's what he's given. He's just get
You'd rather
get
see
your open read.
Malik than Love. Yeah, I mean, you're saying Love's an elite quarterback, but you'd rather see Malik.
I'd rather see a banged up Love than Malik with no pass rush. Yes.
What does that mean? Like, can he still throw the ball, or are you saying he just doesn't run as much?
Who Love?
Yeah, because like if Love is good enough to go, even if he's not 100%,
So when I
you'd
watched
rather
I
see
watched
Malik.
that Jags game this morning. I randomly woke up like 4 a.m. for whatever
Uh-huh.
reason. So I decided to watch that game. I could tell he couldn't like plant his foot down and zip that thing like he can. So I'd rather face that version of him that also can't run because sometimes he can get you there too, or be
Right.
as mobile in a pocket than a guy that if we're not able to get a pass rush, he's just fucking gone. And Malik Willis.
Because to that point, how much pass rush are we actually going to get from the edge in this game if we don't have a move before then, right? So if it's just kind of like against a really good offensive line, it's just kind of
Yeah, they have a good. Yeah, their offensive line's killing it this year. He had
offensive
tons
line's
of
very
time.
good.
Yes,
Very good offensive line. They've had. I mean, that's been a
way better than
Packers
last year.
staple.
Yeah.
So knowing that, I'd probably rather not have to play Love because Love is going to stand there if he's got time.
Mhm.
He's the guy that's going to beat you down the field. Malik won't. He has this year. He's had some big plays, but I feel like with Malik, I think what happens with Malik is that dynamic run game and all of these receivers that can all run with the football in their hands. Watson
Yeah.
was known for that at NDSU, but now they got Reed doing it over and over, and Josh Jacobs has been really good for him. That just becomes more of the focus of the offense. And I think that's what we've seen with Malik is that when that's the focus, they're still really good. Like the game that I think was the Titans or whatever, like they didn't throw the ball at all when he was out there. They just ran the ball like every play, and they still found a way to win. They're just a very good rushing team. I think this becomes the forefront when he's out there.
And by the way, too, so actually, let me see on your list where you have this gentleman real quick before I answer this question. Let me find your list.
Yep.
Rodgers, tier 5.
Yeah, you think high or low? What's wrong with that one?
No. I saw this comment come up a few times today.
I thought about putting him higher, by the way.
Yeah, honestly, I don't mind it. I saw a comment by him just not throwing for over 300 yards, and I just don't. That's not a thing for me personally. Like I don't care how often the guy. Yeah, like yards could literally be made by the guys catching the ball for you.
He had his biggest maybe play of the game was against the Steelers where Brees Hall had like 70 yards on a little check down. I mean, that's right. So it's like that's the point. It's like, okay, that's where most of it. So if he has a game where that happens twice and that's how he gets 300 yards, that doesn't change the needle for me that he had 300 one game. I get the
Yeah.
point because it is kind of crazy how long it's been. But we
Yeah.
also know as Lions fans, his last year in Green Bay, he wasn't great. Right? He wasn't like, this is the MVP. Like, he was okay. He was good. He was a good, fine quarterback. But my biggest issue with Rodgers is not about the stats. It's about in big moments, or not even big moments. I feel like when things go bad, Rodgers is going to pull you out of the gutter. Like, things are going to go really bad.
I got
Go ahead.
trade alert.
Uh-oh. Okay, for the Lions?
No, unfortunately.
Okay.
But great
Okay.
news if you're a Ravens fan. Deontay Johnson head to the Ravens from the Panthers.
Wow.
That's huge for them.
They needed that, bro. Their receivers were trash. I don't care what nobody's trying to tell. Rashad Bateman is not good. All right, I'm just gonna put it. The guy can run fast. He can get over top. He's not good. And after that drop last week against the Browns, no more of that. That's what that is. That's not gonna happen. I don't think Rashad Bateman is a good receiver. I thought early this season they didn't have a good receiving core, and obviously they started winning, but they were just kind of leaning on the run, and they have great tight ends. They needed a receiver. That's a great move.
A fifth round, actually, a Baltimore's fifth round. And a six. I'm trying to get the details. Maybe I'll wait on the details to finish that one up. But yeah, that is huge.
That's the thing. It's crazy what these guys go for, man. When it comes to trade deadline, our value versus what they actually get.
He's good. I like him too. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson. What?
I would say, like, it's great. I mean, D-Hop went for like a 6th-round pick, right? I mean, these guys just don't go for anything when it comes to trade deadline.
Yeah.
That's where teams just give up guys for nothing.
Here.
That's why I think the Lions are being patient, man, because, like, I think you brought that point up, like, the desperation thing, and I completely agree.
Mm-hmm.
Like, more look at it, like, there's no reason to rush this, bro. Teams are giving up guys for nothing. That's why I think the Grand Understanding thing's on the table. That's why I didn't want to count it out, and I had to look into it, because I'm like, it's crazy. It sounds crazy, but at the same time, it's like, let's not count it out because they just gave him the extension. This team gets desperate. They know they're moving off the coach and the GM, and they know they got to get something back because Derek Carr is not the future. Bro, you give a guy for way less than you think the value is. You would never think give rid of the guy that for 4-year deal for a day 3 pick, but it's on the table when things go horribly.
Yeah. Yeah,
and they have Isaiah Foskey who needs snaps, and it's just like you drafted him round 1. At some point, the guy's got to play. Like we're just making this thing easy. This is going to happen by the time we're off here.
Great poll. See how I did there?
What was the name? What name did he give you?
No, Isaiah Foskey. You.
Oh, Isaiah Foskey. Yeah, Foskey, Peyton Turner. You know they got guys. They're not good, but they got guys.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're not.
1st-round picks. Yeah,
all right.
Round picks over there.
I just want to break that news. Should I get to any more comments when we jump back into your list?
Either one, man. My list is perfect, so there's not really a.
Yeah, a second best list, like we said. Ryan said a banged up Love could be better for them because he's not going to leave his feet when he throws.
Oh, like he won't do the craziness. Hey, Love looks just like Rodgers. Love throws the ball just like Aaron Rodgers. He looks exactly like Aaron Rodgers.
I didn't watch him in college.
That first year.
Okay, I was gonna say I want to watch him in college now to see if he did that stuff or if he just learned from Rodgers.
I mean, Rodgers didn't do that in college. Rodgers at Cal didn't look like Rodgers in the NFL. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Rodgers looked like Goff at Cal throwing the football. Now he throws like everything back foot and just kind of flips it. Now,
I wonder if it's like because you do get to sit and wait, and so you get to practice a little bit more like weird shit. There's not like pressure to understand the game plan. I mean, there is, but like as you're a backup quarterback, you're kind of chilling. So like you can try and practice. Like, can I get this one off?
Yeah. But that's it feels like that's like whoever their quarterback coaches or whatever, like that's the form they've taught them. It's like, hey, this is the way we're gonna. This is the style. You know what I mean? It's like easier to maybe it just gets the ball out faster. It feels like it's hard to take sacks when the ball's. Goff's got a wind up that can get him into trouble. Love doesn't have like a wind up, and it allows him to throw from any platform because of that.
Yeah, I don't know who these guys are talking about right now. Yeah, the last 4 games have been good, but until he puts together a stretch as long as a 9-game skid, they were on starting week 10 last year. Not ready to say he is better than Baker. Maybe Hurts?
Yeah, that's probably Hurts.
Okay, so where did you have Hurts? Let's see. Tier 3. Yeah, he's getting there. He started ugly this year, like really ugly, turnover heavy.
Yeah, that's a tricky one because their team's good. That's why I got their team so high. Hurts is still tough though, and you see it. Bro, he had his weapons last week. That dude throws a beautiful deep ball, and then his legs have come back to life. Like, that's a part of their offense again. I just think it's kind of like, it's not to the Lamar thing, but it's kind of like that with Saquon. Like, you can see the potential of how many points this team can actually put up and how dangerous they can be. I just think Hurts is dangerous. That's the problem. Like, he's not Mr. Efficiency, but he's dangerous. And when he was having time last week, bro, it's just big plays left and right. There's not a lot of answers for that guy.
Yes, I was talking to some of my buddies that cover the league like, nationally, and he came up because he had that like MVP season until the injury or whatever. Yeah, I was wondering, talking about what it is, and I guess at times he differentiates. Jeez, I don't know what the word. He goes off the game plan and does like hero stuff, even like audibles and stuff like that. So with him, it's like checking that ego a little bit, until like, hey, this is what we're doing. We're setting these things up for a reason. And I guess that's been the turnaround for him is he's kind of just now following the game plan instead of trying to play hero ball. And then just recently I saw a chart, his throwing chart from next gen, and it was just like that. It was kind of like JG's, just methodically down the field rather than like
Right.
because he does have a beautiful deep ball. I think that's why he wants to use it all the time. But
Well, him like Russell Wilson last week, he was
yeah,
making big time reads down the field. Like you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like it was it. The thing with the Eagles is they never throw the ball over the middle of the field. Last week he was throwing the ball. He was reading the coverage defensively. It didn't just look like a one-on-one throw it up kind of thing. So I think to your point, yeah, staying within it, and they have the supporting cast where he can easily play within that system and be a problem. He doesn't have to get out of that often. They're built for that not to be the case, which is to that point why they were so good a couple years ago. I think they're getting back to that. That's one of the best teams in football, I think.
yeah. No, I'm with you on
They
that
don't
one.
have a lot of weaknesses, man. You got to outscore that team. That's what it is. You play Philly, you have to be able to play 4 quarters and put up points consistently to beat Philadelphia. That's what it feels like.
Um, yeah, he's climbing up there. I have no issue with him. It'd be scary if he continues to do that. I don't want that to be the case because it felt like they're kind of falling back in the rankings there for the NFC. And that's a place where I like. I obviously feels good right now to get the number one seed. That feels like we're going to get the number one seed. I don't want to speak too soon, but like I don't want to go to Philly. Like, I love Jared Goff. I really do. I think you see him in my tier list. He is top tier.
You driving the
I
NASCAR?
don't know that I want to go. I know what it is in cold weather. It's just not the same guy sometimes. So I don't want to play it in Philly. So
That's
I
one
hope
of
they
those
keep
places,
struggling a little
man.
bit there. It's one of those places, man. Everywhere
Not a
cold.
lot of them, but that's one of them. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, Purdy Smith. Who's Smith? Oh, Geno Smith. Purdy
Gino.
Smith, Donald Rodgers. I almost
Yeah.
think that's perfect.
Come on, man. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
I almost
talking
think that's
about.
perfect. Like you said, though, maybe like I could even float Rodgers up one. I wouldn't care if he did that.
Yeah,
Maybe Knicks.
that's yeah.
Maybe Knicks could be in there. I wouldn't hate that.
Knicks isn't bad. Knicks has been coming on a little bit. The thing for me with Rodgers is Tua. We saw his value when he was out. Russell Wilson, like you said, he's been great. He's just small sample size. And then Mayfield and Murray, like I don't feel good moving those guys him above him because I don't think Rodgers is clearly he hasn't elevated his team.
Mhm.
Like, they're 2-6, but Rodgers hasn't played bad. And that's the thing. Rodgers will make bad. He's made bad crucial decisions. Like the difference between him and Mahomes, they've had a chance to win it 3 times. He's thrown interceptions on like every drive. The flip side is though, throughout a game, he still throws some of the best passes, tight window throws that you're like, bro, that's insane. Sometimes they don't make the play. Like the game against the Jets, some of those throws that he made is like, bro, if they make that play, that is a crazy highlight. That's an insane throw. So I'm not out on Rodgers. I mean, it's not a good team, but I'm not out on him.
Yeah. Did you talk about the sidearm one for the touchdown?
Bro, I mean, he makes some.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, every week he gives you some just ridiculous throws, man.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Like you may see interceptions on a stat sheet, but I remember not only resonate this one with you guys because we all watched it, but Jared Goff's interception against the Bears last year when Sam Laporta got bumped, like stuff like that
Yeah,
happens sometimes too. Actually, it happened with
right.
JMO this year as well. But like you can see on the stat sheet. But that's why I wish they differentiated a little bit, like between. I can't say that word. I'm gonna stop trying to say it.
What was the word? Oh, different.
You said it.
uh, differentiate.
Differentiate.
I don't know. I don't know if that's right.
Yeah,
I just gotta
whatever.
say it slow.
I wish there was interceptions and then there was picks. I'm trying to
I
think.
know,
What's
I know what you're saying.
yes,
Mahomes has some of the Mahomes had the one in the end zone where like went off the dude's hands, they got tipped up and picked up.
yeah,
That's the NFL quarterback. That's the That's it. That's why you do these lists though, because then you can add to it. Because like, hey, it's not just about it's about stats. Go to Pro Football Reference, bro. You got your list right there. But it's not
yeah.
about that.
Speaking of, I mean, they have all these other made up stats. They should be the ones that do that. Like pick
Picks and interceptions.
interception, pick interception. Like difference.
That's what
One's
Pro Football Focus tries to do with turnover worthy plays. That's what you know what
yeah,
I mean.
but like
That's what they try to do.
yeah, I guess. So I'm buddies with a few of those guys. Actually, one of the head guys I'm kind of cool with. He'll tell you some of that stuff's subjective, but it's going to be
Look,
that way
man,
unless you clearly define it.
I work with Pro Football Focus.
Okay. So okay.
Yeah.
So are you subjective? Sometimes you're like,
Well, I'm just saying, that's just how it is. I mean, it has to be subjective, right? Because we don't have
yeah.
the. But I
Okay.
think you can try to put some value to that, between the guys. Like you can clearly see when some like you said the golf one, you can clearly see that it's like, all right, dude got bumped off the route. I mean,
Yeah.
it's fine. It is
I
what it
didn't know
is.
you work with Pro Football Focus.
Yep, first year.
Makes sense, nerd. Moving on. Yo, Jameis Winston. Nice poll. There you go. There's a poll.
Yeah.
Can he
Yeah.
revive the Browns?
Hey,
I mean,
well, he's a big Eminem guy, so it's a little
yeah,
disrespectful to not put him at 5. Maybe should put him at 5.
you and him are one of
Winston's
the
a
same.
dog, bro. If I'm a Browns fan, I'm disgusted. What were we doing? You told me that Deshaun Watson gave us the best chance. And look, they should have lost that game probably because dude dropped the interception like so easily.
Yeah.
But bro, you were telling us this. He gives us the best chance. Whoever was making him do that, they got to go. The owner got to go. I mean, I'd be so disgusted as a Browns fan, bro.
Yeah.
This team could have won football games this season, and then we can't move the football.
And I get it. And I actually don't. But I kind of do, like, as an owner, if you have a Deshaun Watson on your team, you're like, okay, I'm paying this guy this much money. Like, he got to fucking produce. He's got to get every chance.
Dude.
But at the same time, if you respect the person you hired to coach your team, like, I feel like sometimes benchings can work out for guys because it makes them want to work hard. That makes them like look at themselves in the mirror like, yo, I'm messing up right now. What do I got to do to get better? And I think that's what Anthony Rich is going to go through right now too.
Right. Yeah.
As an owner, I don't know.
Richardson has started 10 games in his career, so this is understandable that it still looks like this. He's been there for 2 years, but he started 10 games, man. You know what I mean? Like, we knew coming out he's going to need a lot of time. Deshaun Watson should be cut. I keep hearing you can't cut him. You can cut him. Cut him. You're going to lose $100 million. So what?
Yeah.
What's the difference between having him on the roster, right, and saying, well, he's taking $100 million, or cutting him and he's just not there for $100 million? Yeah, your cap hurts. But there's no difference. You're better with Jameis. You're better with Flacco. Go sign a dude for $2 million, ride with it, cut it, move on. You know what I mean? You don't need to keep the guy because you cost a lot because it's costing everything. You're dealing with that right now. He's still on the team. All he's doing is making you worse and costing a ton of money. Cut the guy, deal with it, move forward like Denver did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just it is what it is, bro. You messed up, but you can't just be terrible because you're forcing him out there. You got to move on.
Yeah.
You have all that depth cap. It is what it is.
This situation is worse than Denver's too. Yeah, I'm with you.
Oh, it's worse.
Yeah,
it's worse. But I just feel like it's we can't do it. No, you definitely can't do it. You're gonna hurt because of it. You're gonna have to rely on a lot of cheap guys. But that is what it's. You get a better chance. Deshaun Watson is not helping you at all. He's making you worse, and it makes no sense to keep throwing him out there. It's not good for him either. I feel like
it's so
in a way,
disrespectful to your fans that pay money to come and see it.
Yeah.
And cheer for you. You know what I'm saying? And root you on despite your mistake of signing him in the first place. Trading for him in the first place, I should say.
Right. Hey,
which then CJ Stroud became
bro.
those picks. Like, what? Come on.
The thing is, the NFL gives you an opportunity to restart, and they put themselves in the worst spot, like you said, because of the draft can change your team so fast. Like we saw. It changed us so fast. Hit on some draft picks, man. You're clearly capable of winning right now without adding anything. So just putting him out there makes no sense. Cut the guy and move on.
Yeah, that makes me actually kind of just want to pull out my hopes and dreams on Myles Garrett. Because if they're holding on to that guy being the starter for that long, he's definitely not getting rid of Myles Garrett.
Right. And plus, it's like, dude, you were a playoff team when you had Flacco playing. You can win right now. It's not like they're in a spot where they can't win, they can't compete. You've clearly done well enough where you're paying this guy a ridiculous amount of money, yet your roster's still good enough to win without that guy that's making the ridiculous amount of money. You've done well enough. You know how to build a team, man. So just eat it now and move on, man. In a couple of years, you'll be back at it. You'll be competitive again. You should have moved off of Baker. It is what it is, man. You made a dumb mistake. You move forward. You can't just sit there with it. It makes no sense.
Yeah, this is wild. But I guess when you're like a billionaire like that, you're just like, I'm a billionaire. I'm like 1%. I'm smarter than everyone. So
Right.
Whatever. I get it. All right, let's see. Picking through your list, Dak Prescott. I'm not mad at it. I'm sure other people have a hot topic about that one, but he's playing like shit right now. Not great, but I don't know. He's so up and down this year. It's weird. Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. Was it too high, too low? What do you?
I think he go up one.
Who's up one? I haven't pulled up. Okay.
Oh, because you have 4 in each category, though.
Yeah, that'd be tricky, man. I don't
know.
Yeah.
Okay. I forgot you did that way. Okay, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
I'd pass him with Darnold or Geno. I think that's on the table. I had him higher first, and then I dropped him. You could
He
flip him
just
with those two.
who Lawrence or Gino? Oh, Lawrence, you're talking
I
about?
you could flip him with Smith or Darnold. I think that's fine.
Yeah, I feel I'm glad to have a fellow Baltimore for this conversation. By the way, I feel so bad for that guy. Like he is good, and yes, he makes mistakes because he has the arm to make throws that's going to get you in trouble. But have you seen the drop passes he's dealt with the past 2 years?
Oh, Lawrence?
Yeah,
Yeah, bro, he's in a terrible spot, man. He
it's
hasn't been good, but he
insane.
hasn't been that bad. Like he's done really well under pressure. He's done bad in tough situations. He's just living in those situations.
Yeah, yep, that's a great way to put it.
Bro,
Honestly,
it's like,
can't
hey,
put it any
at some
better.
point, bro, it is about the team, man. Can't be all about these guys. This is best.
I
I feel
cannot
bad
say
for him,
any
yeah.
better.
Yeah, that sounded pretty cool, Easy. I'm not gonna lie, man. That's
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from. Throwing stuff out there. Sometimes you hit. You miss
What?
most of the time, but you hit. Yeah, just saying that, Sometimes you hit
Oh, you
easy.
saying stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, here's why. Here's this. I love this right here. All right, Caleb Williams, tier before the garbage. I'm with it. I have no problem with it. You've seen some of the play making or extending plays. I admire that in him. You know what I'm saying? But like, he also really hasn't been that accurate at all, in my opinion. Like
No.
he's missed a
Yeah.
lot of throws that were like there. You know, they're not impossible to make, especially with like his talent. And I think people aren't talking about that. They're just pretending that's not happening.
Here's why this is a problem for Caleb Williams, man. This was not a great defense he was playing. Right? They're not bad, but it wasn't a great defense, and they couldn't score. The thing is, it's what you said early this year. He's missing every shot play. It seems like every shot play they take, it's not even close. And
Yeah,
then they start playing disasters of teams, and the run game comes to life, and they're just asking him to get the ball out of his hands, and they're beating teams. Not like super impressively, but they're winning games, and he has a couple off-script plays. They play a team that's just average on defense. They can't move the ball at all. He's not playing well this season. It's okay. I think he will be good, but he's not playing well to this point. He's just played a terrible part of the schedule, and they started finding wins, which is the Bears' benefit this year. They don't play a good schedule.
the part that pisses me off that I can't like wrap my head around, other than maybe we were just depleted of talent in the secondary, but like Shane Waldron, as the Seattle Seahawks offensive coordinator, absolutely took Aaron Glenn and the Detroit Lions to the cleaners for the past like 3 years that we've met up with him. He gets a team with Caleb. I know I get a shitty offensive line, but Caleb Williams, DeAndre Swift, who we know can do things out of the backfield, Keenan Allen. I don't know what Roman Dunze is yet for sure. He's still a rookie, but Cole Kmet, like serviceable people, and he just can't draw anything up. It's like he looks like a terrible offensive coordinator right now. But when we
Yeah.
played him in Seattle, he whooped our ass. If he does this again to us this year, I'm gonna lose my shit. Shane Waldron sucks. I think. I don't know though because he owns us.
Yeah. Bro,
So
yeah,
had to get off my
it's a fair
chest.
point. I don't know what to say about that. No. I mean,
I'm just
look,
confused by it.
our secondary was a disaster in those years, so I guess there's that.
Yeah,
Look, and here's the thing: Geno, I think, is underrated. Geno's not bad, dude. Geno
I'm with you.
Geno makes some bad decisions, but he's got a terrible offensive line, and Geno does a lot of really good things in bad situations.
Mm-hmm.
Geno's good. Geno's tough, man. Geno's tough to deal with. If you have no corners and you're trying to play Geno in that Seattle team, it's a mess.
Watson's dead cap of $172 million.
Hey,
Yeah, he's
hey,
not good cut.
look. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. All right, let's do this. Let's just walk it back. Don't cut him. Don't play him again. Just wait until you can cut him. All right, because next year maybe you can if you just start moving off guys and you start trading everybody. Whatever. Don't cut him. Don't play him again. Sit on the bench, buddy. Until we can, sit on the bench. You're not
Yeah.
playing anymore.
Caleb has never been accurate over 30 yards. I mean, I don't have the homework on that, but I will disagree from what I've seen. He's been highly inconsistent. Yeah, even that one game, I would have been so mad if they won that game this past the Bears. I'm talking about Caleb Williams. 10 for 24, 131 yards, 0 touchdowns, no turnovers. But had they got another win off like that, because he has like what, two wins like that? The Titans, they won that he
The
played
Titans
shitty
was
too?
like that. It was bad. Yeah, they shouldn't have won that game.
Bro, I've been
Remember, Will
furious.
Levis
How are
had
you
that
winning these
terrible
games?
interception. He had that
Yeah.
terrible interception that gave him the lead. They're winning because their schedule is terrible, Easy. We just beat the Titans with 80 yards. We scored 52 on that team with 80 yards from Goff. That's how bad the Titans are, bro. Like, now we know. Now we know they're a disaster. That's why they won that football game. They're a disaster.
Fair. All right. Let's finish this up and I'll get you out of here. I apologize. All right. Daniel Jones, Ooh,
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
damn.
Eh,
You
can
got
put
him
him over.
over Minshew and
Oh,
Brissett.
yeah. Well, Brissett hasn't done enough. Like I wasn't sure if I should put him or May on there. I like May. May would be higher, but Brissett hasn't played enough. Brissett's in a garbage situation. I feel like at this point I don't know what to do with it. Brissett's a backup. He's
Yeah,
a backup. I didn't want to put him both starters. And
that's fair.
then I don't think Daniel Jones is not good, but also Daniel Jones is not in a good situation. Like it's just being fair. His best receivers is rookie. How many times is that the case? Where it's like,
Yeah,
yo, your go-to guy is now your rookie. I get it.
he's
It's you
good though.
drafted him. He's really good, man. But everybody else is not. Everybody else is
Yeah,
mid-level. It's Darius Slayton's your number 2 receiver. Your offensive line is okay, sort of. It's sort of okay, I guess.
yeah.
They were getting killed by the Steelers last night. You don't
That's
have
the
a real
defense.
running back. It's Tyrone Tracy's now your rookie or top back. He's
I
dealing
like
with
that.
rookies everywhere, and his defense isn't that good.
Yeah.
What's up?
Nah, I was gonna say I like Tyron Tracy as well, actually.
Yeah.
But
But
I'm
that's
with
who
you.
has to be out there because they
It's
don't have
crazy
any
too.
other
'Cause,
talent.
I want to say Brian Daboll's a good coach. Like I don't hate
Me
Brian
too.
Daboll as a coach at all. It's just
No.
their GM has to go, bro. That he set them up for absolute failure. I mean, what sense does it make to not have any weapons? This is before they got Malik Neighbors, by the way, too. So you need to know if this kid's following you. I mean, there's a bunch of receivers in this draft, I guess, but like to not have any weapons, to know your quarterback is handicapped somewhat. Like the best friend of any quarterback is a run game. Like, what are you doing? Like, for 12
Hey,
million, that's it. And then you went and spent money on Brian Burns.
you know who also doesn't have a lot of weapons right now and struggling? Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, bro. It's like, what is this? Well, he doesn't have any weapons. Like, you got to have
Yeah,
weapons as a team, because it's like, what do you do if you're an offense going into a game and a team goes against you? They could just say, well, it's going to man everybody. Someone's got to get open. So their one guy that can get open, kind of, is Malik Neighbors. He can get open. It's Malik Neighbors. So you got one guy that could do that. But I'm not really worried about your run game either,
yeah.
bro. What am I supposed to do?
Ryan T. Dabble confuses me. I don't understand his play calling sometimes. Not having Watt chipped in that third down last night was criminal.
I actually missed the final drive, so I don't know what happened. I saw everything up to the
Yeah,
final drive.
that's the final drive. I missed it too. But I know a lot of people were bitching about that 2-point
Oh,
conversion. They
the
tried.
one where he threw it over dude's head. He did throw it over dude's head and threw a pick. He had him moving, though. He had him at the 35, and then he threw it over a guy's head.
I might have missed that play, but I know everyone's bitching about the 2-point conversion. But like, if executed, that could have worked. It's just the no one blocked. Nobody even attempted to block. That was like did I think someone blew the whistle dead? I mean, I don't play dead. I don't know, but
Yeah, that's where you feel
yeah,
bad for Daniel Jones, bro. You're like, bro, what is this? You know what I'm saying? What are
yeah.
we doing here? Nobody blocks, dog. You're NFL players, bro. How are you not ready?
And then like I had some hope for him on the final drive, and
Yeah.
then of course he did pick. I was like, I
Yep,
can't
feel bad.
cape for him anymore. Not that I really was, but I didn't hate him.
No, but it is one of those things where it's like when it's such a disaster, it feels like it's like at some point something's gonna break on his end too. Like you can't keep putting a guy in a terrible situation, and then something's gonna go wrong on his end. He's human, you know what I mean? He's gonna do something dumb. He's dealing with pressure on him. He's gonna throw it over a guy's head that he shouldn't.
Yeah,
It's just like at some point when you're in a bad enough situation over and over, you're gonna also make mistakes, and you're gonna become the environment that's around you. That's kind of what it feels like for him. Because
I
year
agree.
one wasn't that bad. I mean, he didn't do a lot of great, but it wasn't bad. And he took care of the football and he ran. And they made the playoffs.
They won a playoff game on the road.
A playoff game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like 3 total touchdowns in that one. He was, yeah, with no weapons, by the way. I think Darius Slayton was like his best receiver in that one. But
Yeah.
we are over the 30 and 40 minutes we committed to.
A little bit.
You still want to do post game this week or pregame?
Yeah, absolutely.
All
Yeah.
right, cool. All right, we'll be back for the pregame. Dion, what else you got going on your channel? What other things you got going on? You'd like to shout out and let the people know so they can tune in?
Nah, nothing, man. There's nothing going on over there. Don't
Nothing.
in. No.
I thought you were
Hey,
doing. How's
no,
it?
play. I did the Granderson video last night, but we also
Okay.
have already went through the Titans game, so that's up over there too. That was on,
All right.
both on Monday. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you going to start
Bunch of
using your Twitter if we throw out your ad?
I mean, I sort of use it. You know what I mean? But you know what I do, Easy? I use it to respond. I don't make enough posts. That's the issue.
Yeah.
I'll
One
respond to
time.
you if you at me and you send me something. I'll respond to you. I do that, but I don't.
I think you should
make a
post
lot of
more,
great
Dion.
posts.
I think you should post
Easy,
more.
I don't know what to post, man. Maybe I got to get the airport thing that you
Post
have
your
and then
thoughts,
just start
But
posting
hey,
it.
it's normal. It's completely normal to pick your nose sometimes, right? Like You put it out there. Put it in the ether.
That, yeah.
Post. That's a post. And then there's some discourse happening beneath it. Like, yeah, sometimes you need to dig to get the job done. Blowing it's not always going to get done.
This is true.
You gotta get up in there. You
That's a good point. Yeah. I didn't think of that. You know what I mean?
I am live. If you guys don't know, on Woodward Sports 5 to 7. It's a lot more rambunctious, a lot more wild in that setting. But I'm live Monday through Friday there. Thursdays, right back here with my guy Dion for the pregame show. We break down the Detroit Lions matchup this week. We'll be doing the Green Bay Packers. I can't wait to get into that one. And Lions Nation Night also on Sundays. Catch us linking up with Herman Moore. If you'd like to join one of the shows, Dion, you're more than welcome, by the way, too. And today at 3, we're actually going live again. I forgot about that. Should end this soon. We're going live again at 3 with Lomas, Brown, and Herman Moore. So stay tuned for that.
That's awesome. Shout out to Lomas.
That's awesome.
And
Shout out
AJ,
to
but
Lomas.
Lomas is fire. Yeah.
Lomas is fire. All right, we out.